The intention of this recording is a reaction to Patni's interview with Duncan Haemba concerning Goldenberg. I like the way the NTV has placed it. Golden bag as a that insect. The name Goldenberg was placed there. Now, not this golden bag, the, the insect, but the Goldenberg company itself was came from the word golden mountain, golden mountain. And I think I've recorded before uh, my opinion and investigations about Goldenberg. I'll repeat it in brief, but first of all, I'll just answer I'll just place there my reaction on the interview. Then I'll come to briefly. I'll be very brief talking to how it started, how it developed, and how it did whatever. Uh, I have issues. I have issues with these Christians from Pentecostal whatever. These people, when it comes to issues of property, most of the Pentecostal churches preachers preach richness on this world. Um, they take teaching about richness in this world to another level. And when it comes to Patni, he was very evasive on matter of property and so on, to an extent that he had to produce the Bible and say that that is all that he owned. He also cheated. He also cheated that he is hiding things because today he could be a billionaire and tomorrow he can be poor. Of course, in any circumstance, when people talk about richness, even when you are being interviewed for a parastatal job or a state job, you say my network as per the time of the interview. You could be worth 100 million at the time of interview, and by the time you take over the office, you'd be having a billion shillings. So things do alter, things do change, even within a flash, and that is why in interviews you say at the time of the interview. He was very elusive. He was very elusive, and I liked Haemba on two occasions. On one occasion, on several occasions, he brought that Kamlesh Patni onto the topic. And the second thing that Haemba pleased me was this issue of it seemed there's a time it seemed as if Patni was finishing off the topic, and and he was reminded the interview is not over. There was a question which was very direct, and you see, like any other NIS person, our people have liked that. People are liking me for that, for always saying that the best communication is the non-verbal communication. The non-verbal communication. Do you think even for once you can catch a thief stealing and ask him, "Are you stealing?" And he says, "Yes, I'm stealing." So we always look for the non-verbal. The second thing we look for is the answers. Yeah, actually, it is still the first one, but the answer someone answers you. You see, there's a question Haemba asked, and the answer that Patni gave is not the answer we were looking for, and it is not the answer we got. We got. Actually, we got we got the okay. I personally got the question that Haemba asked, and I personally got the answer that Haemba was looking for, and I'm sure Haemba got the answer he was looking for. Haemba was asking about the country that Patni is at, and that they have agreed with the government of that country that they had agreed that the profit Patni just gets, they get 50-50. And Haemba was asking, what is this so special that you get 50-50? You get 50-50? And even in the process of talking, he only talked of bringing the machinery and bringing the expertise and the machinery. Who, this fellow, his life will be full of conning countries, because there is no way you can go to a country, extract minerals, and then on a 50-50 whatever. So as an NIS, and even I believe our cousins, not really cousins ya Omunyoro, our cousins in the investigative journalism uh, do believe that the unspoken word or the body language is what counts most. Uh, Obviously, when he said they are getting 50-50, Haemba did it so well that we remained with the question of what is the justification of him getting 50% for what? Then he didn't know that that was the question. And we really got the answer. Is that if we know about Goldenberg, is that the 50% that he's getting, he's going to share with prominent government leaders of today. That brings us now to Goldenberg, of which I'll carry the story of Goldenberg later. But it brings us to the story of Goldenberg, where the profits from Goldenberg on paper he was getting 35% of the supposedly 35% of the supposedly profits of Goldenberg. Now let me ask you, which business is this you carry, you as an individual, you carry with a government or a country, and you get over a third? 35%, a third is 33. Now you get 35. You get over a third of the profit, you as an individual, and the country gets less than two-thirds. Hmm? The other thing is about James Kanyotu. James Kanyotu was my boss. And if I'm not wrong, during my time when I was in special branch, I can say that I can give two instances where it involves me and James Kanyotu. There's a time when we came to Nairobi to boost up some work, uh, special branch officers from the field. We came and we were occupied in a certain, it was called what? There was an hotel which was next to Serena, but it is of a lower quality. Uh, it was made of wood. It was made of wood. It was next to Serena, across the road. Nyerere Road, Serena is on the side of Uhuru Park, and our hotel was it green whatever, can't recall. James Kanyotu came and he gave all of us some cash, ready cash, which was equal. He knew how many we are. That was just out of pocket expenditures. I did not know who it was, but after he left, those who knew him were said, that is Brother James. I said, who is Brother James? They said that our boss likes being called Brother James. And then Patney thinks that he's talking to people, okay, maybe jinsis or whatever. But today, Haji, I think it is easier for a jinsi to meet Haji than a person, than me at that age, working for the special branch, meeting my director. And then he says that they met when he was 24 years old, and it was in a tailoring shop. When they were in a tailoring shop, they talked. You see, a person like Kanyotu opening up to a young boy, 24 years, and then in a tailoring shop, and then after talking, then then the boy suggests to him, let us meet 3 or 4 times. Then they meet. Then he sells the idea to the director of intelligence in Kenya. Hey, acha tu. Eh? And then he talks of his name being Patni, and then saying that he came up with an idea and he stopped several Patnis and other smugglers. That was a calculated statement. That was a calculated statement. Actually, Goldenberg is an idea that came up by Nagini Patni. Yes, it is true that Indians, especially those in Kenya, have certain lineage of uh, work. For example, how many Patnis have you had opening hospitals? Or how many Patels have you had doing gold? You'll find a lot of Patels do they go into hospitals, medical. So you find that Indians follow that thing. And it is true that the lineage of Patni has to do with the gold. That is true. But what happened that I'll tell you is that Nagini Patni, he's on River Road, not very far from fire station. Nagini Patni started buying gold and he did a lot of research. He could be told that people are getting gold from a place called Makalda Mine, from Malale West Pokot, from Muruny River, Lalua Marich Cooperative. He knew that if we could have a coordinated selling, buying, coordinated things in the gold or whatever, Kenya would do that. And I'm trying to say that Nagini Patni, on his part, since he deals and he used to deal with matters of gold, uh, he had to, you just don't go and sell minerals to those people without them collecting intelligence. Because if they don't collect intelligence, when the whole thing burns up, it will turn against them, isn't it? So when he did a lot of research, he found that Kenya could start its own gold. Partly was trying to cheat Duncan Khaemba that gold came at Tanzania was unstable. Oh, when was Tanzania unstable? Tanzania was unstable, Congo was unstable, that is Zaire and whatever. If we have to believe what he's saying, then he's trying to tell us that the government of Kenya, through Goldenberg, was encouraging the smuggling of gold from another country. And you see, that is a crime. So, Nagni Patni, not Kamlesh, Nagni Patni, they are distantly related. They are distantly related. Uh, like most of the Huatenges I've met, we are so distantly related. We must be distantly related. Some were even named after my own grandfather. So you find that Nagni Patni and Kamlesh Patni are distantly related, just like the many Huatenges I meet around. And when Nagni started that idea, he did not even have an idea of smuggled gold from Zaire or anything. He just knew that if we could have that gold, or whatever, arranged, eh, it is like, let me give an example. You are in a village, everybody produces 10 liters of milk. It goes to waste. But if you get a cooling house and whatever, and you organize yourself that these people sell their milk to a cooperative society, and then the cooperative society takes it to the cities, you'll benefit from your milk. That is what Nagni started. And then that idea was taken to those days, any business, whatever, or anything that has of a value, a report had to be copied to special branch. So when Kanyotu, being the head of special branch, got the report, he went to Moi. Now that is what I want to tell you. When James Kanyotu got that report, he went to Moi and said, this is a way we can make money, the two of us, Kanyotu and his boss. If you remember during the Goldenberg, not even Goldenberg, Truth and Justice and whatever, I used to say, my boss and his boss. That is Kanyotu and Moi. Kanyotu and Moi. Kanyotu is the one who saw that. He read the blueprint of Nagni Patni. He read the blueprint of Nagni Patni, and when he read the blueprint of Nagni Patni, he knew that for the for the whole thing to continue with Nagni Patni, there is a lot of problems they may have. Nagini Patni may want a lot of money, a lot of cut, and also the bragging right. But since the report was named, the report nowadays you find the Bosire Commission, you find the whatever Warohio Commission. So you find that commissions are usually named after the person who presented them. Since this was a Patni report, the whole country knew there was a Patni. They had to look for a young boy, 24 years old, Nagni Patni, bring him in. He was young, the idea is not his, and so on and so forth, so that they use him, they can give him a smaller cut than what Nagni Patni would do. So that is how it started. And Goldenberg had two shares only. The two shares, one was Moise and another one was Kanyotus. In the Goldenberg, in the company records, it showed that Nagni Patni and Kanyotu are the ones who had the shares, but Nagni Patni's share was not his. That is a company with only two shares. It was Moi and Kanyotu. So Nagni was only holding not Nagni, Patni. And Patni kuibaiba hapo and whatever. If you are handling Magendo money, even if you are sending me move from point A to point B with Magendo money across the Busia border, I'll reach somewhere, hide a few coins there, and then whatever. That is what I can say about how the whole thing started. And then Nagni Patni became disillusioned. He saw, first of all, his idea, he was not paid the Copyright Act, and two, uh, a young boy who was his namesake was printing billions and and in a conning manner. So he started making noise. And during our days, even when you are dreaming, special branch could monitor. Okay, just take it that way. During our days, even when you are dreaming, special branch could monitor your dream, and then so he used to tell people, "Oh, you see, these are this," and then a team of people were sent from Nyayo House, not Nyati House, from Nyayo House, which included Inspector Mukuria. By then, Mukuria was not an inspector; he was by Mukuria, Kwatenge, anaitwa nani, Professor Wajakoya. We were those people who were called from 6 constables or from 6 inspectors. So Mukuria, by then he was a constable. They went to get an interview from Nagni Patni. They were to get an interview from Nagni Patni. The interview was supposed to interrogation, not interview, to scare him. Continue talking, and you'll go to the next word. Uh, he told Haemba that Al Jazeera was an investor. Well, I believe, I don't know whether you also believe in that when you cheat me, the level of cheating dictates the level of eh, how you value me, how you value me. If you think I'm stupid, you'll give me a very stupid answer. But if you think I'm clever, you'll give me a very clever answer. At Al Jazeera, they wanted to invest in whatever. Hey. Okay, if I haven't seen that interview, but if it is true that Al Jazeera was talking of investment, I'll not talk on behalf of our cousins, not our Munyoro cousin. Our cousins, the investigative journalists, I will not talk about them. But I tend to believe, I stand to be corrected. I stand to believe that some of this investigative journalism, some people even may come out and pretend to be investors or anything to try you on along those sides. If you tell me that Al Jazeera went and interviewed him and pretended to be investors, then I tend to believe that that could be true. But telling me that, yes, these companies, this they are free to start a second arm, which is to do with what stops from national media group, let's say starting a hotel company or whatever, or even standard media. But telling me that Al Jazeera was out to hey, tell that to the birds. I saw that he evaded naming the conspirators in the Goldenberg issue. He quite a lot of time evaded the answer. He also avoided the answering the question of net worth, what he is, his net worth, and I think that was unfair on his part. So in the brief, what I say concerning Goldenberg, I've already recorded that, so I'll just talk briefly and very quickly. There is somebody who told me that if I have a lot of stories, I should talk quickly, and I told him, why don't you place your video on 1 times 5% times the speed? Now, when we come to Goldenberg, Nagini Patni, a namesake and a distant relative of Kamlesh Patni, who had or still has a gold shop along River Road next to the fire station, came up after doing a lot of research. He came up and formed an opinion that the government should invest and a lot of things should be invested. Just like I said, investing in a village, instead of everybody producing 10 liters of milk, we have a cooperative society with a cooling facility and whatever, so that the milk does not go into waste. And a lot of middlemen were using the gold from Macalda mine, from Ikolomani, from West Pokot, Alale, from West Pokot, Marich, Lalua, Marich, River Moruny, and so on. He felt that those things, if placed in one place, they can come out with a very good what? They can come up with a very good business for Kenya. They can come out with a very business for Kenya, and Kenya can benefit. And it is because of that idea that James Kanyoto stole it and talked to Moi, telling me that the director of intelligence can meet, especially the director of intelligence then. If today it is impossible, what about the director of intelligence then? Meeting him in a tailoring shop, and then you tell him that let us have four more ideas, four meetings, and then after the four meetings, you come up with an idea. This fellow must be a genius. A genius. 24 years, 24 years, being the right place with the right idea. But as I say, is that this thing was they only looked for him because he was a young boy. They looked for him because the idea was not his. They looked for him because he was a namesake of the generator of the idea. That is how they found him, and that is how they used him. Uh, he got a lot of, now if he got what he got, you can see he's a billionaire because of that. If he got what he got, and if he got what he got at up to now and whatever out of the Goldenberg, it shows that the prime movers, that is Kanyotu and Moi, must have gotten a lot of things. Now, lastly, uh, Haemba talked about Patni getting preferable treatment at committee, and he answered it is true, and it is true, but he did not give the, you know, when you are giving evidence, you say, I'll give the truth and the whole truth, nothing but the truth. He gave the truth, but not the whole truth. Even I, if I am jailed today, I cannot be taken to an ordinary cell. I'll have to be taken to, you used to be a police officer. And okay, I left the police service for a long. But take Talam now. I'm sure Talam, if he has, and Muhwana, if they are to be jailed today, or even when they are remanded now, you see, they can meet people whom they took there. Or no, if it is not that, they'll meet others, and others will say, oh, nyinyi ndio mlikuwa mnaleta watu hapa. So there is an element of segregation because of having worked in certain areas. That one, let us agree. But let us also agree that in Kabiti, there is a lot of business that goes on. I was the first one, and I was really castigated by people when I said that Raila had very many, what do you call, privileges there. There is that. And there is also this Chumli. Chumli had to sell, there is some milk which is being sold at Naivasha as you go around. Uh, that 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 shop was sold by Chumli family when Chumli was placed in committee because of shooting a game warden. And what used to happen is he's given a certain room. His family brings in very good furniture. He goes there and stays there. In the segregated place, also he does that. And every morning, his wife used to come with breakfast from a five-star hotel in Nairobi. Lunchtime the same, supper the same. So the truth is, by virtue of our position, including me, if I go there, we are treated differently because our lives can be risky if we mix with other prisoners. That is one. But on top of that, because I talked of the truth, nothing but the truth, no, telling the truth, the whole truth. Patni has said the truth, but he did not say the whole truth. A person like Patni, a person like Raila, a person like Chumli, and so many people, such people. There is an arrangement. I can tell you, such a person can stay for 2 years in committee and he has never tasted the prison food and whatever. The kind of food he eats is from five-star hotel. I think this, together with the video that I had recorded about Goldenberg, I think has covered sufficiently what I wanted to say. You can see I'm loyal to my country. The flag is there, isn't it? But have a nice time. I think in this very particular video, I have recorded I have my ideas which I wanted to share with you. And for those of you who send something in the till number, asanteni, Mungu awabariki. Amen.